and welcome to our flip video lesson, Hunter-Gatherers and Cave Dwellers, lesson 2.02. So just a quick recap on our flip video lesson. Why do we do a flip video and what is a flip video? So a flip video is basically where you watch the lesson ahead of time and then you come prepared to class, ready to answer questions, ready to ask questions, and ready to participate in different learning activities. So I won't go through this too much during this flip video, and we eventually will not go through these at all, as we did this with lesson 2.01, but if you do need to look through any of these, please feel free to pause the video. So this is where the typical flip video will begin. There will be a Google link, a screencast link, a video link in the slides posted on the OMS, should you need to go back and watch the recording. So today we're talking about 2.02. This will cover your Human Odyssey reading pages 18 to 20, so this book here. And remember, during this lesson, you should have read 2.01. You should have read 16 to 18. Maybe you did 16 to 20, which is great. But specifically for today's lesson, it's 18 to 20. Your student guide workbook pages 20 and then 24 to 27. Your OMS assignment will be the assessment 2.02. And the topic we're discussing is early humans. So as I mentioned yesterday, these are a list of all of the lesson objectives, but for today, for 2.02 lesson, we're specifically covering these 6. Describe characteristics of hunter-gatherers, describe the importance of the human discovery of the use of fire, explain the main reasons for human migrations at the end of the Ice Age, identify the period of time when humans made tools from stone, and list examples of ways humans used and adapted to their environment. And then finally, recognize that early humans were nomadic hunter-gatherers and cave dwellers. And some of these, again, may overlap, but these are the main ones that we'll be talking about for the lesson today. Introduction. Early humans were hunter-gatherers and cave dwellers. From the start, humans distinguished themselves as thinking, inventive beings. They used fire to cook food, warm themselves, and frighten animals away. And they crafted stone tools to help them hunt animals and fashion skins into clothing and shelter. Usually, we think of that way of life as belonging to the distant past. But there are people in various parts of the world, including Africa, Australia, and North America, who still live very much as people did in the Stone Age. So this is where you will need to get out your student guide. Please go ahead and make sure that during every flip video, you have this student guide next to you, so you're able to fill out activities that are in there, fill out questions. In today's case, we are going to be using the questions on page 20. Unfortunately, there is not a spot for you to write answers to those questions right after each question space, but there is a bunch of open space here on the bottom of the page, so you can fill it in there, or if you'd prefer, you can get a piece of notebook paper, write the questions, answers on the notebook paper, and then you can always staple it to this book, okay? So you should have that student guide turned to page 20. If you don't, please pause this video and go get it. All right, where did early humans seek shelter? So this goes with question number 1. Early humans lived in caves, rock shelters, in cliffs, and tents. And just a quick note, remember the tents that they lived in weren't fabric tents like we're used to. They were probably leaves or animal hides or maybe moss from the ground. So you need to picture, they didn't have those technologies at that point in time. Number 2, what is a hunter-gatherer? A hunter-gatherer is a person who hunts animals and forages for berries, fruits, seeds, roots, and nuts. And specifically, they do it out of necessity, not just because they enjoy doing it. Question number 3, why is the era of early humans called the Stone Age? The period was called the Stone Age because humans made tools out of stone. Question number 4, name at least 3 ways the people of the Stone Age used their environment. People of the Stone Age used the environment by gathering available food, berries, fruits, and nuts, finding water, sheltering in caves and cliffs, and by following the animals they hunted as the animals migrated from place to place. Question number 5. Name at least 3 ways that early humans adapted to their environment. Early humans adapted to their environment by making and improving weapons, by learning to make fire on their own and use it to cook and for protection, by building shelters, and by wearing clothing. Why is it important? Why is the use of fire an important discovery? This is question number 6. The use of fire was an important discovery because it provided people with protection and it helped them prepare food and stay warm. And if you'll notice, there's 2 more questions, question 7 and question 8. And again, if this is going too fast, that's one of the luxuries of having a video rather than a live class session for instruction. You can always push pause. Okay, so you can always do pause. I will make a quick note on the video link. When you pause, unfortunately, it won't freeze the screen. So my suggestion to you would be, when you use this and you want to pause it, use either the screencast link or the Google link that is posted. So question number 7, why did early humans travel in bands or groups? Groups of about 30 people could hunt large animals and search for food as they followed the herds and seasons. Question number 8, what happened during the last ice age that allowed people to migrate or move to new places in search of food? Why wouldn't you be able to follow their routes today? So the water froze, the ocean shrank, and parts of the seabed were uncovered, so people could walk between land areas where there are seas today. They traveled from Asia to North America over land that is now under the waters of the Bering Strait. So again, remember these spots that we talk about, where the water is, the water was not there. It was either frozen so they could walk across, or it was uncovered so they would be able to walk directly across rather than, obviously swimming or having to cross that big land area when they didn't have boats, they didn't have ships that were invented yet. So that's the end of the questions. Now let's talk a little bit about important vocabulary words that you're going to need to understand before you complete your assessment. So accurately means correctly done. If I say, something was accurate or show me how to do this accurately, that means correctly done. It was correct. To migrate means to move from one region or habitat to another according to the seasons. The Stone Age marks a period of prehistory in which humans used primitive tools. It lasted roughly 2.5 million years, and the Stone Age ended around 5,000 years ago when humans in the Near East began working with metal and making tools and weapons from bronze. And then the word event means to create or design, obviously something that had not existed before. So now I'm going to ask that you turn to your student guide, page 26. Get mine out here, right here. And it's Otzi's Artifacts. Okay? And you can, when I'm done explaining this, you can pause the video and you can go ahead and do some research and fill in this chart on, I just put it on the screen so you would know what it looks like. But again, it's in your book here, in your student guide book. But I would highly suggest that you look through this link. You can either get it from the slides in your OMS, or it is actually in the OMS lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you here what it looks like. So this is the link, Otzi's Artifacts here. So you can go through and look. The Iceman's equipment, Otzi's equipment is extensive and practical. So this talks all about different tools that Otzi had. Copper axe, longbows, arrows, and quiver and its content, flint dagger, all kinds of interesting information here that you can look through. I'm not going to take the time during this flip video to do, but definitely you can pause this video and you can research this on your own. Okay. And then my hope is that you will fill out this chart and then we can discuss it during class time. And if you want to go ahead and put this video on pause, you can do that now. And then when you come back on, you'll see what's on the next slide. So go ahead and pause and you can go to your OMS or go to the class slides and look through this link. Okay, and just like that, we're back. So here's the chart filled in, the artifacts, and then what materials they were made of, what Otzi may have used them for. And then you'll notice on that page 26 and 27, there are some questions. So question number 1, let me go back here to mine. Question number 1 says, what do these artifacts tell us about the life and times of the person who made them and used them? So Otzi's tools and clothing show that he probably hunted animals for food and that his environment held many dangers and that he lived in a cold climate. And then question number 2, what evidence suggests Otzi was a hunter and gatherer? So the tools are the kinds of tools that hunters and gatherers use. Again, for finding berries, for hunting, defending yourself, because you would need to defend yourself when you were out, right? And then question number 3, what evidence tells you Otzi was not part of the Stone Age? So if you look there, evidence that Otzi was not part of the Stone Age is that he has a copper axe. Stone Age people did not know how to make items from copper. So that was something that had not yet been invented. So now you know we're coming to the end of our video. As I said during our first flip video lesson 2.01, I do like to have quotes. Nothing is too small to know, and nothing is too big to attempt. That was by William Van Horn. And that is all that I have for you today. Thanks so much for joining me. Stay positive, stay fighting, stay brave, stay ambitious, stay focused, and stay strong. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you in class. Have a great day.